of where he is. You'll be able to see a big like harp. It's just quite something unique, and definitely styled according to his needs. But other than that, for now he'll be quite reserved.
Okay, very good. So, the same goblin comes up, and as you're, kind of making yourself a little bit unseen, but maybe with a purplish a shine, your reddish shine to your skin, you're standing out just a little bit. And as you're wandering the streets of Urzin, this little goblin comes up and says, what you hiding from, mister?
Are you one of those again? I still haven't been paid for last time's service. I mean, I can't just play for free.
I think you've got mistaken me for somebody else. I've actually got a job, and maybe someone who hiding in the shadows could be quite useful for me. What do you say?
Will I be able to stay in the shadows for this job, or are you going to put me on a stage again?
Oh, no, not the stage. You could stay in the shadows. I'm gonna put it this way: you'll be in places where people don't normally go if you take this job.
Yeah, you can see a clear little grin on his face, and the lines on his face kind of just glimmer a little bit as he nods in agreement and kind of straightens himself and walk with quite posture behind you.
Fantastic. Yeah, you won't be needing to go to Urzin, Jigao, Bazaksan, anywhere like that. Just far away from the cities, which suits you well. And he leads you up into this area formerly referred to as a waiting room, where you see Cadus and Sigvard again. Now, we'll swing once again. Our camera pans to the outside of Urzin, well, the streets of Urzin, and this figure is most decidedly unmistakable. It is a Loxodon, like an elephant person, an upright elephant, the trunk and the whole things. And this Loxodon is clearly a cleric of some sort as they wander the street. So what does Hatum look like, Christian?
Well, a tomb is a large. It's muscular, but mostly rotund. He's not armored in any way. He's wearing vestments, signifying a belonging to the Kryn dynasty. So it's mostly purplish and dark. Would seem like holy vestments to most, and he has a amulet around his neck in the shape of a hollow dodecahedron, and on his 4 tusks as well are engraved images, symbols, small dodecahedrons as well, in addition to a tattoo of a dodecahedron on his forehead. Of those who would know, his clothes might seem like a mix of clothes from far-off lands like Marquette, and a mixture of Marquette and Joras. It will be around 240 centimeters tall, weighing quite a bit. He's just looking around, smelling with his trunk.
Nice.
The area.
So he's a big boy as well.
Quite a big boy.
Awesome. Okay, so the goblin approaches Hatum and says, you're a member of the... I like your vestments. You're plainly part of the Kryn dynasty, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yes. Oh, hi there. What's your name, little one?
Scrimp. Nice to meet you.
My name's Hatum. You wouldn't have a site for worshipping the great Luxon here in Urzin, do you? A shrine or something?
It's a little complicated politically. let's just say we're getting a lot of pressure from the powers that be to fully commit to the rule of Jorhas and be under the thumb of the Bright Queen. And there's some political maneuverings and bits and pieces, so we don't actually technically have a site where you could worship. Maybe if the Bright Queen, exerts full control over Urzen, then perhaps then. But at the moment, no friend.
Oh, well, I'll keep my faith to myself mostly. I wouldn't want to offend anyone here, but I'm looking forward to seeing the sights. This is a strange place.
No offense taken, friend. You can worship whoever you like. I mean, the Dwendalian Empire is very religiously bigoted unless you prove one of their gods. And the scum that they are. This is why we're at war with them. Many reasons, but yes, very intolerant of the religions. But tell me, are you interested in some gold, friend? I might have a bit of a mission for you.
Well, yes, I do need to procure travel. I'm actually traveling to Jigao, but I'm sure I don't really have enough gold for that. So, yes, if I can serve in some way and perhaps guide the people of Urzen, then
Oh,
for
yes,
gold.
well, of course. Well, this is, I haven't seen you around here. Are you new to town?
Oh, yes, quite new. Haven't been here before. No, no.
Let's just say your newness is going to be good for this mission. But yes, you'll get to serve, you'll get to help. And let's just say there's a bit of a rescue element to this mission as well.
Oh, well, my teacher told me if I am to grow and remember things, I should take risks. Battlefield is the surest way to what's it called? Spark the mind to remember things. Yes.
Oh, fantastic. Well, follow me then. And the goblin escorts Hatum back to where we find Cadus and everybody else. Cadus, Sigvard, and Gil. And ushers you in a waiting room. Just wait here with this lot. They're all here for similar reasons. Just a sec. I'll go talk to Lord Buffle. I'll be right back. And he scurries away from this waiting room, quote unquote, and leaves you four alone. So if you want to, anything you want to do, let me know.
Is it quite a spacious room, or are we cramped in this? Quite
cramped.
It's more cramped now that I entered.
Yep.
Hi there. This is quite. I'll just try to sit a bit down in a corner and not knock anything over. Hi, my name's Satum. It seems we're supposed to take a mission together.
You'll see Gil giving him the eye, like up and down. I'm pretty sure it's his first time seeing Loxodon. And he feels very diminished in your presence. He says, "Hi, take as much space as you need, I guess. You're going to anyways. My name's Gil, and you are?"
Hatum. I'm from Marquette, a continent across the seas. What you would call a Phakedan, PheYdan. Yes, that's what they call us. Nice to meet you all. Who might you two be? Looking at Sigvard and Cadus.
Nod my head and just say Cadus.
Nice to meet you.
I'm just like confused staring at you. How are you speaking? I saw your species back in capital in the things like zoo, but
yeah. I guess I'm not sure how we Pacudans came to be, but I guess there's some resemblance to those things you call elephants. If I just, you see, my mouth is under my what you'd call a nose, and wriggles his trunk about.
Oh my god. How
Mm.
um whew, okay, this is normal. It's weird city. I'm sorry about I was being rude. I didn't mean that. No offense, I hope taken.
No worries. The first path to accepting other people, you have to get past this cultural shock. It'll get better. I promise you. It's been quite a shock for me as traveling here as well.
Well, you're well mannered as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
Pleasure to meet you.
Well, thank you. I've mostly been studying all my life, so this is going to be quite different.
Yeah, I actually myself never was an adventurer or a mercenary or those ruffians, going for gold. So yeah, this is quite exciting. I must admit.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it's not violent ends we are hired to do. I mean, I can exercise some spirits, perhaps, but I don't want to be called in to end the life of just people. That doesn't sit right with me. Maybe diplomacy might be a better. But oh, I'm just rambling on. We should. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. And who's the other girl? How did
Yeah,
you
I'm.
manage to get those horns? That's you poor thing. Because you have horns, right? I'm sorry. Because Tiffany says
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have.
yeah, I
I don't
do.
mean-
And and on closer inspection, now that you're actually like close to him, you'll see the horns actually like has like golden tips. He's quite like decorated in terms of jewelry and stuff. And he'll also have two earrings, one of which would be a crescent moon, and the other would be like a harp strung with arrows. And um, and he looks at you with you. I assume you're like well dressed. Um, are you one of those that try to pretend to be something that they're really not? Are you one of those that try to assert dominance with your clothes?
And please, I've been born and raised like I look. This, and I'm gonna point around my face, is a production of a long research of perfect essential oils and other products. So please don't tell me I am the pretender, okay? I just ask what hurt you with your horns. I didn't mean to be rude.
Fine. Yeah, I was born like this. I was younger. It's one of those things that people try to hide, but I mean, as you get older, you just say fuck it and you just roll with it, right? So now I just put color on it and just celebrate who I am. People like it anyways, and in areas like this, feels like you're accepted. But uh, Sigrid, just we're supposed to go on a mission together, right? And I might not have the nose of my friend Atum next to me, but like I can smell you a mile away with these essential oils. Like, is
Well,
this going to
thank
be a
you.
problem?
Oh, it's never a problem. People obviously love a pleasant smell. Uh, I guess Hatum here, he probably can smell quite well. I mean, I don't know. Is this for smelling or
Hey, Atum's
the
gonna move his
no?
trunk a little bit closer in your direction. Start to smell the essential oils.
Yeah, see.
Oh yeah, that's quite a mixture of what is this? Bergamot, citrus. Oh, that's quite a mixture. Mm.
Oh, yeah. It's usually costs quite a lot. I'm not trying to, personal ingredients. I'm not trying to spread it around. I'm not believing in that monopolization thing. If you come up with something, you should keep it to yourself. Really, no
Oh,
secrets
oh,
with me.
that yeah, I can see that. It really makes you quite. Yes, it suits you. I think. Yeah.
Thank you so much. See, other people can appreciate it.
Gators, what do you think of this crap? You like the smell?
He's just a pretty boy.
Oh, I am. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Little smoke from Gil.
Okay, you guys ready? Lord Buffle would like to see you now. Come on,
I don't know.
step through here.
Pretty boy needs to look in the mirror first, but we're ready.
So the din of the swamp and the hushed chatter of Urzin's residents are muted as you sit through the folds of a heavy leather curtain into the chamber beyond. There, the reek of the marsh is quickly replaced by the favourable sense of roasted meats and spiced wines. The goblin gestures you towards a litter of dingy furs before the seat of Lord Buffle II, who allows you to settle in. And you see Lord Buffle is an ogre. He's almost as wide as he is tall. He's dressed, compared to the other residents of Urzin, he's dressed quite nicely with a polished chest plate armor on and a long broadsword by his side. He looks a little, obviously seen some battle. He's got some scars covering his face, and you see that in a little table, kind of at ground level. Lord Buffle sits down and he says, "Eat, drink, but be wary, for the Empire, the Dwendalians, have come to Zorhas, bringing damnation with it. But please, help yourself to these meats and the spiced wine."
Oh, well, thank you. Is this a local cuisine?
Yes, it is local. We have some brewers of sorts here in Urzin. So, yes, the meats we have hunted. I believe there's even some more bounder in there. If you've never tried that before, I might recommend it.
Oh, well, thank you. I was going to say, thanks for the meal in Marquesian. Softly and sit himself down. I'll try not to knock anything over.
No,
And
sorry. Now, when you say spiced wine, what do you mean by that exactly? What did you put in there? I'm sorry, I'm just, trying to figure out.
I am the leader of this town. I am not some common brewer. If you're looking for a history lesson of the wines in Urzin, you have come to the wrong place, friend.
Thank you for the wine. I will just go sit down and sit on it.
And Lord Buffle II is about to launch into a speech, and he takes in a deep breath, and then catches himself, and he says, "Oh, what is that smell? What is that? What is that smell coming from?"
Oh, that would be the pretty boy.
And he looks over at Sigvard and, "Why do you smell like that?"
Well, it's a smell of beauty. What else can I say? Youthful and beauty.
Do you have a problem with getting dirty?
Well, don't worry, I will clean myself up. I have the whole kit in my bag, so if we get dirty, it's okay. Just point me to the closest bathhouse and I'll get it sorted.
This mission, which I assume Scrimp has given you the barest bones, revolves wandering around in the Broken Vale Marsh. Not sure how familiar with it, but the waters sometimes are up to 5 feet deep, who'll be wading through this filth and other stuff on this mission, I assume that would be a problem.
Yeah, that's fine.
You can sit on my shoulders if you want.
I will appreciate that.
Whatever works. Now, I do not know any of you, which makes it perfect for this mission. And he looks around and scans you all in the eyes and looks over at Scrimp, kind of shakes his head. He says, well, I suppose you'll have to do. 3 nights ago, my most trusted advisor, my most trusted counselor, the Goblin Witch, known as Balbara. Here, let me type that into chat for you. Balbara. She journeyed to the foothills of the Broken Vale bluffs to the west, where she regularly forages for ritual components, and I assume communicate with her patron. And she usually comes back giving me visions, giving me portents of the future, which allows me to maintain Urzen's independence as best I can under the, shall we say, forceful approaches by the Bright Queen herself. She would like Urzen under her thumb as well. I, and many residents of Urzen, do not want that. Without the advice of Balbara, my political maneuverings are going to be somewhat limited. As I said, she's been foraging 3 days ago. She has not returned. My mission for you, yes, there will be gold pieces associated with this, will be head into the Broken Vale of Swamp and find Balbara. That, in a nutshell, is what I need you to do. Are there any questions?
What exactly are we getting in return?
Straight to the chase, I can respect that. Now, ideally, I need Balbara returned back to me alive. If you can do that, I can provide you with 200 gold pieces and provide you with premium weapons prior to you going into the swamp.
200. Hey, it's living large here in Urzen, I see. Do we have any guarantee of this? I mean, I don't really know the place well. Don't get me wrong. Sorry, that I like your hospitality and everything, but isn't it quite dangerous out there? Like, do we need some guarantee?
Are you
Somebody going with
questioning?
us?
Oh, I can provide you a guide. Morgrid will be his name, a hobgoblin. He will be joining you. You'll meet
Oh, that'd be
Morgrid
lovely.
in a second. Now, just to be clear, were you questioning my ability to pay you? Is this the guarantees that you were looking after? You questioned my word?
Taken from your tone, this is the place where I say no. I was not questioning you, sir.
Very good.
I respectfully bow.
He nods. Now, as you no doubt know, the war is raging between the Dwendalian Empire and us here in Johars. From what our scouts have established, the Dwendalian Empire has set up a fort right up against the Broken Bow Bluff. It is a well-defended fort. It is Fort Venture is what the Dwendalians called it. Now, why we don't know that Balbara is there, she might be lost in the swamp, or she might have been captured. We've seen scouting parties from the Dwendalian Empire getting bolder and bolder and pushing into Jorhas. So we fear she might have been captured, or she might have fallen to the swamp. We do not know, which is what we are paying you for. So search the swamp. If you can't find her head there, then I suspect you need to go into Fort Venture.
What do you guys say? Is this up your alley? To be honest, I don't know my arm from my ass in this area. Do any one of you know where we're going? Where he's sending us to? Like,
Oh, I have no idea where we are. But that's kind
I'm
of
quite
why
new
I'm
to
here.
town.
So I'm here because I don't know anything, and I'm tracking down a family member. So I'll go anywhere.
Well, something that could help. This is a tracking mission. Find a lost person. I like this. Do you perhaps have something of Bulbara? Something that's a smell? My nose is quite good. I can remember a smell.
Buffalo says, Scrimp, go get some clothing of Bulbara and be quick. And Scrimp kind of scampers off and comes back a while later with like a cloak. It's like an older cloak, and so she says, she offered would wear this cloak. Would this be of assistance?
Oh yes, it would. Is it okay if I bring this with us?
I would expect no less.
I'll take it with me. Starts smelling it a bit, just to get a early nose on the thing.
Mm-hmm. Are there any other questions?
Not
Lord
particularly.
Buffalo, this wine. Oh, go for it,
Where?
sorry.
Where's
is it?
Margaret?
Scrimp, go get Margaret. And Scrimp, boom, zips out again. And he zips back in, and you see Margaret. Margaret, as I said, is a hobgoblin. He's quite tall, quite broad. He looks serious, dressed up in leather. He's got a long bow across his back and a sword by his sides. He says, Lord Buffalo, tell me these aren't the people that I'll be taking through into the swamp. And Lord Buffalo says, I'm afraid so, Margaret. These people are unknown here. And as you no doubt know, this is needs to be done on the hush-hush. So the less context they have, the more of the nobodies that they are, the better. And Margaret kind of steps in. All right, you're the boss. You pay the bills. I'll take them into the swamp. So, says Margaret, before we start going into the swamp, I need to know a little bit about you. In particular, we will be going into the swamp. We'll be up to our asses in swamp water. There'll be fog all around. I'm interested to know which one of you lowlifes is good at finding their way around, is good at navigating, is good at knowing east from west, even when spun around several times. So which one of you guys are good at navigating, surviving out in the wilderness? Who is it? Speak up.
Well, I can find my way just by smelling with my trunk. I guess I could be someone to look ahead.
All right, done. We'll be trusting your nose, trunk. Don't know what the hell that is, but we'll be following your lead. Now, Lord Buffalo, is there anything else we need to know from these people? Keen to get going. So there's a little bit of urgency on this mission, and we need to get Bulbara back toot sweet. You! And he looks to you group, and he looks back to Lord Buffalo. Any questions from any of you? Because we need to get going, and we need to get going now.
If
No.
we're
No,
going-
no, sir. We
I'm
can
Sir.
get going, and we can
Content.
get going now. Sorry.
Agreed.
All right.
Well, are there any dangers we should, keep ahead of, that you know of?
Apart from the giant constrictor snakes, apart from the spiders, apart from otherworldly things, apart from the lizard folk, apart from giant spiders, apart from that?
Oh,
Fuck.
Can
Sounds
you
bad.
buy
That would be good.
Can we also get an insect repellent if possible, since we go into swamp?
You already smell like an insect repellent.
Oh no, I'm insect attractor. If you want to know. Unfortunately, some of the ticks are going. It can come into the skin. I would really want to avoid it. Do ticks swamp by any chance, or
There's plenty of ticks in the swamp. Make for good eating, if nothing else.
right? Can you please tell me there's an insect repellent in this town?
There is insect repellent in this town. We are very concerned about our personal hygiene and not being bitten by... Of course there's no bloody insect repellent. We're going into the swamp.
Awesome, thank you. I will write a letter request to your boss for that.
Yes, you do that. All right, come with me.
Oh,
And
No, I was telling Sigvard, don't write a letter.
Well, how else you order things? You write the letters to people. They bring it to you. I usually was writing to my father, and he was providing everything. But I guess here we ask the big sir here, right?
You know what? Go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will write one.
I'll be sure to file it in the correct area. And Mulgrid heads you down, and he takes you to... you were promised nice weapons. Any weapons I can get you? These are premium weapons. Can I get you anything? No armor, I'm afraid. Weapons I can do. What would you like?
I'm already
Fine.
fairly prepared. So
All right.
I'm happy with what I have, sir.
Anybody else?
Just quickly out of
I
character.
Yep.
Sorry. Do we do ammunition tracking with bows?
No. I
Okay.
find it just gets cumbersome after a while, so no, don't worry about the amount of arrows that you have.
Okay, cool. Well, then I'm sorted. Thanks.
Can I get a longbow?
Yes, I can get you a longbow and some arrows. So longbow, arrows. Anything else?
That's all.
No need. I don't need weapons.
All right, wait here. I'll be right back. And Morgood goes, and he comes back just a few moments later. And he does give you a longbow with the arrow, so feel free to add that to your character sheet. And Lord Buffle II promised these as premium weapons. Now, while it will function as a longbow and have all the same properties of the longbow, it is not the graceful bow you might expect that it was perhaps elfin-made. This is very much a goblin-made bow. It is functional, but you worry that when you're using it, you might get a splinter in your hand. There's some rough edges, like right at the tips of either end of the bow. It's not coming to a point. You know, the string is just wrapped around the ends. The arrows are a similar vein. They got the arrowheads on them are jagged. They're not perfect. The feathers on the back of the arrow are there, but they're not quite symmetrical to make a perfect shot. So by saying these are premium weapons was perhaps a bit of an oversell. They're function weapons, but they don't look very nice at all. They're goblin made, very much made for function and not for beauty. But regardless, Morgred hands you this longbow, this goblin made longbow and goblin mode arrows. Alright, is there anything else? We need to get going. Alright.
Good, I think.
All good here.
All right. And he leads you out, outside of Urizen, into the Broken Vale Marsh properly. Now, I will drag you across to this map here. So, hopefully you should all see this little marker up here with Urizen. That's where you are. Do you all see that?
Yes.
Yep. And there's Fort Venture down here, which is you should also be able to see as well. Okay.
Yep.
Now, Morgred says, we need to navigate through this swamp. All going well, we should be at Fort Venture within 2 days. Hopefully we'll arrive at nightfall. But we need to check out things along the way. As we say, we're not entirely sure where Balbara is. Anywhere between here and Fort Venture. No doubt we'll discover places along the way. But that's going to rely on you. And his voice, his eyes spring on to Hartoum. So obviously, we need to go west. Now, one decision to make before we go. Traveling to the swamp is difficult. And you can already tell the fog is surrounding you from the swamp. Even now, right on the outskirts of the swamp, you're already in ankle-deep water. There are a couple of ways to approach this. We can approach at a normal type of pace and just go normally. Or we could be extra slow, be sure of our navigation, and perhaps spot things that we wouldn't normally spot. Or we could go fast, possibly miss things, increases our chances of getting lost. So what do you fine folk think? Fast, slow, normal. What's it gonna be?
I'm personally fond of taking it slow. I do not like to miss things.
All right.
Well, Bogart, in my opinion, a slow song is always better than a fast song. It lasts longer. You remember it for longer, so I'll go for a slow one.
All right.
I like
What
your
about-
philosophy here. Yes, I agree.
What about you, Sigvard, I think your name was?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to get rid of the swamp as soon as possible, but naturally, if others want to go slow, then guess we venture slow. Also, you said 2 days of journey. Where do we gonna? What is there an inn halfway through that we're gonna sleep at?
For the love of the gods. Have you been outside before? It's a swamp. There's no inns. Quite frankly, we'll be lucky if we find a place to sleep that's above water.
Find you a nice tree.
A tree is an
tree?
option. Trees tend to have snakes in them. But if you're that afraid of the water, then perhaps a tree is the best option. You should listen to this lass over here. She's got more sense in her little finger than you do have in your entire body.
Okay. Alright. I mean, yeah, that'd be fine.
Be all right. It'll be all right, Sigmar. We'll look out for each other.
Okay, I would just deserve some wine after. That's fine. You should have
There
told me
we go.
earlier. I would have resupplied more on my kit, but that's
Morgred is just shaking his head. And by the way, I love it how out of element Sigvard's first adventure is. A swamp, right? It's perfect. I love it. All right, so depart by... it seems we're going to go traveling slow. Old Lord Sigvard, I apologize if this is not to your liking, but this is what we're going to do. So, this is a very critical moment in the whole campaign. No pressure, Christian, but your first roll is going to set the tone for this entire campaign, as this is the first roll. Okay? I remember setting this up for a previous group, and the player had advantage on his first roll, and he rolled a double 1. So, hopefully you can set the tone better than that guy. So what I need you to make for us, Christian, is a survival check.
Yeah. And first question is, do I get advantage with my keen smell for that survival check? Or is it just a normal survival check?
That's just a normal survival check. Smell won't help you because the smells are coming from everywhere. So,
Okie-dokie.
set the tone.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oof, that's mediocre.
7 on the dice. Oh, and can everybody just make a roll? I didn't mention this before, but it'd be nice if you had the Chrome add-in called Beyond 20 added in. Does everybody have that? Does everybody know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, Gil. Oh, glad I could get you to roll first, Gil.
Hell yes.
So let's
And-
just
and-
make
What are we rolling? Just anything?
anything, just to make sure that the links are working.
Gotcha.
There you go, Sigvard. Okay, good.
It actually looks like mine might not be.
Oh,
Wait.
wow. Definitely should have asked Gil to make the first roll and Cadus. There we go. But Hatum, you roll a 7 on your survival check.
11.
Oh, sorry, 11, sorry, but 7 on the dice. Okay. Okay, so let me just check one thing. Okay, so because of your slow pace, you're pretty sure in the direction that you're going. So you start heading west with a little bit of southwest twist to it, more or less making a beeline towards Fort Venture as best as you can. And as Hatum leads the group there, you see that these boggy wetlands are covered with waist-high water spread as far as the eye can see as you venture deeper into the mist-laden expanses of Broken Vale Marsh. Morgred, your hobgoblin guide, is letting Hatum lead. He doesn't seem too confident. And he says, so if it's not obvious, I'd like to point out that the marsh loves outlanders like you. And you see, he's given this speech in waist-high water. Lucky that none of you are the shorter races, halflings or goblins. You might be actually under the water. But this marsh loves to gobble them, bones and all. But don't worry, as I said, 2 days, maybe 3 will make it to Urzin. And then it's your time to shine. And speaking of time to shine, hopefully you should see more bits of the map revealed as Hatum sends you through. And he seems to be leading with confidence as he leads you to the swamp yard, going a little bit slower, as I said. And about 4 miles, 1 hex equals 4 miles, by the way, on this map. About 4 miles out from Urzin, you spy a shaded thicket of withered mango trees, draped in a sickly veil of rotted creeper vines. A mouldering wooden raft, topped with a single withered post, floats near the centre of this dark and lonely swamp area. A gaunt form clings lifelessly to the bottom of the post, recognizable as a withered skeletal remains of a Dwendalian soldier. This, if nothing else, is showing you just how bold the Dwendalian Empire has gotten. This guy got quite far, but not far enough, I think. What do you guys
Anyone
think?
you know, Sigvard?
I mean, this is just maybe a peasant soldier. I've never been in the military myself, but they sort of like servants, so I wouldn't know any personally, probably.
Yeah.
I was just in the city guard. That was my positions, roughly, not some foot squire.
What a poor soul. If only you could have been brought under the light of the Luxon. Oh, I'm just going to say a prayer in Marquesian.
Okay.
We'll probably take Gil at least 20 seconds and all of their chatter amongst each other to actually finally see the body, as he'll be kind of writing notes, and he is kind of just distracted with kind of making rhymes and notes, and yeah, it's like, oh, somebody didn't make it. Unlucky.
Indeed.
Just with apathy, look at the guy.
Well, I suppose there won't be any places for him to be buried properly. But, oh well.
Is he far from us?
Let me show you. Let me just check one thing first. Yep. So there you guys are. There's a skeleton on a raft. As you see, there's swampy water between you and it.
But how deep is the water?
Make a nature check. First roll for
Also,
Cadus.
and I do have a question about the roll, just because D&D Beyond's a little new. If it has the A advantage next to it, does that mean I roll with advantage every time I roll a nature check?
Well, why do you
you
get
can click-
advantage?
I don't know. Several of the skills listed in my D&D Beyond have the advantage next to them, like Arcana, History, Investigation, Nature. And
I think if you click the skill so it brings up the thing on the right side, if you're on PC
Okay.
at least.
It's
it should show, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so you get
Okay, so
advantage
it's-
on Arcana
got it.
because you recall information. To recall information about Fae, Fiends, and Undead.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah, similar
makes
thing
sense.
for History. Or to do with your Hunter's Bane, yeah. And, in case you didn't know as well, if you hold down Shift and click on the skill, you see a green plus button. That means roll at advantage. So if I roll this one,
Oh, that's useful. Thanks.
yeah. So
Very
that was me, I think, who rolled for Cadus there. Or was it? No, I got the 9.
Oh yeah, I rolled the nature. Yeah.
Yeah. And similarly, if you hold down Control, I'll do the Arcana. It's at disadvantage. That's why the 11 is shown. Okay. Now you didn't, of course, get advantage on this one, Cadus. So, but you rolled a 19. We'll take the first dice. The water varies in depth, kind of 5 feet-ish, right from where you are, to 20 foot deep in the middle, to shallower at the end of it. As you're kind of looking around, Hartoum, you're looking as well, and you're getting this swamp, maybe thinking about ways to give this person suitable funeral rites. You can't help but notice, with your passive perception of 16, notice there's some swampy water snakes are swimming around in there as well. So You don't know if they're poisonous. You don't know if they're just hanging out, being, pretty harmless snakes. But there's definitely a bunch of snakes between you and the raft, kind of swimming in the water.
I'll let the others know and just say, there's some obstacles, writhing obstacles, if we would get there in the shape of snakes. I would want to give this person, whoever he was, a funeral, but this seems dangerous.
I'm down with
one
avoiding
man's
the
death.
skeleton. So
One man's death is another guy's bread. I don't know. I'm fine with leaving him as is. He looks peaceful, to be honest. I think he can't be asked anymore.
Well, says Morgred, we do have a mission, of course, to get Balboa back as quickly as we can. But I can't help but point out that the dynasty is at war with the Empire. And that's a soldier over there. Not a very good soldier, apparently. But there might be information on the soldier. He might have orders. I mean, he has come further north. I'll leave this up to you ultimately. But we need to make a decision. Is it risk getting to the soldier? Perhaps getting some information? What do you think?
I mean,
anyone here good at swimming?
Not particularly.
We could take out the bows, not take out the snakes with your bows, perhaps. I can point them out, and we can eat them for food later.
Did you say how many snakes are there?
Was there?
I think I saw 2.
No, more like 20.
Oh. Oh, okay.
They're all quite small, like maybe about 10 centimeters long. But there's lots of them.
I mean, I would love to give him a burial as well. I agree to that, certainly. But going into deeper water than we already are, yeah, that's not gonna be good for the skin, really. I'm happy to help in burial, but I'm gonna be swimming there. I'm sorry.
Margaret, have you seen any of these snakes before?
He comes over to the side and peers at the snakes. And he kind of scratches his stubbly skin and says, let me just roll or something. Do recognize these snakes? I mean, I notice a couple of them have unusual markings on them that I've not seen before. I don't think I'm going to be much help. They could be harmless snakes, but I have a sneaking suspicion at least a couple of them might be poisonous. Like all snakes are, I guess, inherently poisonous, but these ones, I'm not sure, but I don't think you'd like to be bitten by them. Could be a bit of a problem.
Atum, can you point them out?
Oh yeah.
Once Hartoum has pointed them out, they're very easy to spot. You see the snakes, and as I said, there's lots of them.
Now, any of you adventurers here, don't you have maybe like a hook or something? Maybe you could throw a rope across, and one of our more dexterous thievy types. I've seen it. I've heard about it in the novel. They just climb the rope to go across. Any of you got anything that could attach? I have a rope here that can be used.
I don't mind swimming.
I mean,
I only use rope in other places in life. Nothing here. Sorry, man.
sorry, what did you mean other places in life?
Oh, pretty boy, you've got so much to learn.
Too much.
As such? I never
Um,
heard about overuse of rope. I mean, please elaborate.
Cadus gets tired of waiting and literally just starts wading into the water.
Okay.
Oh, Cadis.
Okay, so Cadus, your previous assessment, I think it was you who the swamp. It gets deeper quicker as soon as you head into the water. Sorry, just a sec. Actually, I'll do it this way. Okay, so let me just one thing I just forgot to set up. Just give me a second.
Mr. DM, also then I've got a game question after
Sure.
that.
Yep, ask away.
How do we count movement? Does a diagonals count as just 5, or do you have to walk like
Okay.
right and then upwards?
I'll give you an example with Morgrid here. So, obviously 5-foot steps like this. Your first diagonal is 5 feet. So if Morgrid goes like that, that's 5 feet, 10 feet, 15 feet. If he takes the next diagonal, though, that counts as 10.
Cool.
Okay, so first diagonal, 5 feet. Second diagonal, 10 feet of movement. Make sense?
Yep.
Yep. Excellent. Okay, so Cadus, you jump into the water and start swimming across. Now, you do see these snakes coming, which swarm, and they're kind of getting uncomfortably close to you. Can you make me an acrobatics check, please, to see how well you can avoid these snakes in the water? An acrobatics check. So you see the snakes coming up from the water, and they're going to psh, 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 trying to bite you, but you kind of... Oh, you explain to me, how does Cadus avoid these snakes trying to bite her?
That's a good question. Okay. Not being very frightened of them, I'm kind of I'm booping them on the nose with my knife and just nudging them out of the way as I swim past them.
Nice. Okay.
Glad that somebody went first. Gil will jump in next. Kind of give a leap dive, and his horns will kind of make almost like a small little stream as he hits the water. It'll make like a small little splash. And then he's going to regret his life because actually he doesn't really like water. But he's going to paddle through since Cadus already went first. So
I can almost imagine Cadus gracefully swimming through there and Gil doing a glorified doggy paddle. Would that be fair?
Love it.
Oh yeah, no, that sounds perfect, great. But he's going to do it with elegance.
Okay, well, let's see how elegant he does it then with an acrobatics check.
I'll be. I think I can. Okay, wait. Let's just do the acrobatics first. Just.
Oh,
There we
wow.
go.
Well, you two gracefully with a natural 20. You get a cheer for that as well.
Hey. Do I make it cross? Like.
Yes,
straight
you do.
through?
You do. How does Gil get across with his acrobatics of 22 and avoiding the snakes that are in here?
Really elegantly doggy paddling, and then with every like second one, it's like just like going to be a little bit more of an aggressive paddle. As he kind of scoops them to the side, it's still looking elegantly. And then when he comes out, he's going to shake his head like a dog would as he got out of the lake.
Okay, cool. So, Cadus, you arrive a couple of moments before Gil, and you see this dead soldier. It's a human. It's clad in chainmail. The chainmail still looks reasonable, but his clothes are rotted. You can just make out on the rotted clothes that he's wearing. I always forget the name of it, but it's basically like almost like a shirt you wear over armor with the armor you're serving on it, almost like a vest.
Vestments.
Vestments. I think, yeah, vestments. That sounds right. Vestments. You can see symbols of the Dwendalian Empire on it. So very obviously a Dwendalian Empire on it. Yeah. So Cadus, Gil, what would you like to do as you arrive on this raft, having dodged the poisonous snakes?
Surprised you didn't sing to the snake skill.
Well, I don't think they pay well, do they, Gad?
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. I'm quite velvety skin, they call me, like a type of whiskey and cigar vibes. But perhaps sometimes I can grace you with that presence. And you? Looks like, well, I'm surprised you haven't started picking this guy apart yet.
Ignoring him, I take my knife and start poking around to see what the skeleton may have with him.
Okay. And I assume Gil is going to be looking as well. So can you both make me a perception check, please? A perception check.
Are we
Okay.
perceiving or like looking, investigating?
This
Just
will be
perceiving.
a perception check to try and spot something.
Oh.
So perception
Incoming.
sounds like. Oh, okay. You both kind of get knives and start searching around this Dwendalian soldier, perhaps at the advice of Morgred, looking for something more like orders or anything. If there were carrying any orders, they're either rotted away or you don't find them. Even with a 7, Cadus, you do find something. You do find a little mildewy pouch on the side of this corpse. And you look inside of the pouch, and you find 15 silver pieces. And apart from his chainmail and his rotted clothes, that's all you find with a perception check of 7 and 3.
Pocket that.
Gonna
Okay.
kick at the mail. You got any use for this? Looking at Cadus.
No, not particularly.
Well, we can pawn it off, I guess. Metal is never looking. This never looks well on me, except for obviously these golden ornaments.
Jump right back in the water.
All right. Another acrobatics check from Cadus, please, as you hopefully dexterously swims through the swamp.
Gil, can Gil stay for a second and maybe just have a look as to, or maybe can get a sense of how this person ended up here, like why specifically like this raft, or like can I just have a sense of why this spot?
Okay, sure. We'll deal with Cadus first, and we'll come back there. As you're swimming through the swamp, Cadus, and you're trying to bop them on your head as you did before, turns out these snakes are a little wiser than you gave them credit for. So your armor class, Cadus, is 14. Couple of snakes actually managed to get through and bite you, one on the leg and one on the arm, and they hold there just for a second before you brush them off. You take 2 piercing, but I'm going to need you to make me a Constitution saving throw as well. Okay, as these snakes get in, you feel the poison kind of going into your body. You pull one of the snakes off, doesn't get its poison in. The other one starts sinking some poison in. So you get one of them off, and you take an additional 6 points of poison damage. So a total of 8 points of damage. But then you successfully make it to the other side.
Hey, Lisa, are you okay? You seem a bit rough.
You know, one of those last snakes got a little too deep. So yeah, not feeling so hot.
Oh, oof.
Oh, for fuck's sake, skaters! You left the body here.
You can bring it.
What am I? It's just sticks and bones. I pick up the head and then the legs fall off. What do you want me to do?
Why do we need
You-
the body?
Use the raft.
That was the
Look at
whole
the shell.
point of going over, Caters. The people want
Well,
and
just search
like
the
I'll use.
body. We searced the body.
I think
They
the
wanted
raft is
to
broken.
bury it, and I kind of scream it from the other side of the water. And
Got distracted by the silver.
Look, it's a Dwendalian soldier. Their own gods will come get them. I don't know why we're bothering burying them. You got a problem with that, Hartoom?
Well, I normally only serve those who serve the Luxon, but I'm really not sure.
It's
I can try to distract the snakes while you get across. I was a bit. I'm sorry, Cages. I was just a bit spacing out. Just say when you're trying to get across, Gil, and I'll try to do something.
that sounds fucking promising. And he's kind of like, yo, no, I'm the stranded one. Like, I'm just gonna end up like this body. Everybody just leave me a situation. So before like I continue, I wanted to check as to how this body came here, or like what the situation is.
Sure. Make a medicine check. You feel maybe you could work out how he died. Maybe, maybe that would explain some mystery. So make a medicine check. Okay, you get down on your haunches and look a little bit closely at this body. And as you can see, it's skeletal. It's been here for a while. And you notice two things with a medicine check of 14. The first thing you notice is that his rib cage is kind of crushed. Several of his ribs have been cracked in the side. And from what Morgred told you before, you've heard stories about giant constrictor snakes. And you feel that this thing was crushed. And you figure maybe it was a constrictor snake that done it. The other thing that you notice with the 14 is the skeleton has been, the flesh on the skeleton has been eaten by something. It could be something like, it could be a piranha type thing that just stripped the body free, or could be simply rats or other rodents. The 14, you're not entirely sure, but you know some type of small vermin has stripped the bones, stripped the flesh off the skeleton. So it's hard to know exactly how long ago this body was done, because you'd usually tell by how rotted the flesh is, but there's no flesh to speak of because it's been eaten by some type of vermin. And that's what you work out.
He does not feel kosher anymore. And he, like just in his arms, how deep was it, more or less? 5 feet.
5
Deep.
feet around
The
where
water,
you
so-
are, going to a depth of 20 here, and then 5 back on the shore again.
I'll just grab only the head, because I won't be able to swim with the whole thing. That doesn't make sense. So I've got the head in one hand, almost like a bowling ball. I'll have my 2 fingers through the eye sockets,
Yep.
and I'll just sigh and curse under my breath. And I'll go for it, screaming at Hantum, look out for the snakes, keep him busy, I'm coming. And
Okay.
I'll go for it.
I'll do thaumaturgy around here to create instantaneous sound of the a drowning chicken or something.
Drowning chicken.
Sort of over there. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see how well you do that. Can you make me a performance check? And depending on how well you roll, this could potentially help Gil.
the bane of my existence, performance checks. Yeah.
Yeah, you create the sound of a chicken. Perhaps you think for a second and think, how many times are chickens in this swamp? And with that momentary of doubt, it's not quite as good as you want. It does help Gil a little bit. The difficulty class is going to be reduced. I won't give you advantage, but the difficulty class for your acrobatics is going to be reduced a little bit. So, make an acrobatics check.
Oh boy. 14?
With the issue, you start swimming across, and the snakes you see start making a beeline for you. But just as that moment, Hartoum cast thaumaturgy and the sound of a drowning chicken, and the snakes kind of swim around there for a second to kind of try and eat the chicken, but obviously they fail. It's just an illusion, and you safely make it back to shore, Gil.
Oh, what a boy, Atum, what a boy! And he'll hand over the skull, as hopefully a god will be happy with us.
Yes, I think so. I'm sorry I was thinking of doing this, but you just jumped into the water so quickly, Cadis. But perhaps this'll lessen those bites a bit. And it's gonna say, "May you walk in the light of the Luxon in Undercommon and healing word you for 6 hit points, Cadis."
Oh, nice.
I'll bow to you. Thank you.
No worries. I just set out to dig a bit in the soft soil and try to bury the skull.
Gil will
It's a shame we could.
go on.
Say something like, "Shame we couldn't bring you into its fold. Sleep well now, little human."
While the tomb is busy, Gil will play like a mournful tune on his harp that he has with him, and kind of just acknowledge the moment.
Okay, make me a performance check, Gil. Let's see how well you play that harp. Very nice. It complements the homily Hartoum gives quite well. Morgrid sighs. All right, you've had your little religious ceremony, played your pretty tunes. I suggest we keep on moving. And tell me, Gil, tell me, Cadis, you at least brought the chainmail back.
Gil did.
Did Gil?
Gil brought just a school, right?
Oh, that.
I thought you said he didn't want to waste the metal or something.
Well, Gil, it's your choice.
Gil-
If you did bring the chainmail or if you forgot it, it's up to you.
I thought he
I-
grabbed it, but that was my bad.
Gil only brought the the head. I actually thought that you would bring it back.
Well, then fine. I did then. We definitely talked about one of us taking it, so I'll say we did.
Yeah,
Okay.
I assume between the two of us, we would have taken it.
So I heard you talking. Cadis, Gil, you can't use a chainmail. What about you, Sigvard? Might be a little dirty for your taste. Hartoum?
I'll toss it to Sigvard.
Yeah, done. I'm good. I'm just like backing away. Oh, no, I have my own. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Does it remind you of your homeland?
Mine reminds me of my homeland. I have the same. I have better crest. I have my family crest alongside the Dwendalian one.
Do you need this, Morgan?
No, I'm good, thanks. And maybe we just store it. Maybe we'll get some gold for it back in Urzen.
Sounds good to me.
Looks pretty
Does
decent
Sigvard
to me
had
too.
Does Sigvard have like a famous or familiar family crescent on his armor?
Well,
Are
it's
you
a
from a
noble
prominent-
house. So it's not like massive, like ruling noble house. It's just one of the nobles. Like I would say minor nobles, probably working at the high end areas.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it. So I'm not sure
Yeah.
if you'll be.
No, I will. Gil will just take note of the crescent, but I don't think he recognizes it. But he likes to
If you like to
know
try,
who he's dealing with.
you can make a history check if you want to, if you think you might have a chance of knowing it.
From my background, I do have some dealings with the Empire,
Okay.
as well as definitely noble houses. Not bad.
I'll leave that to Sigvard to say. Do you think an 18 would be enough to know it, or is it too obscure?
I mean, so he would probably know that they are just nobles, mostly from Zadash city. Probably that his mother was
Yeah.
one of the lectors within the. Oh God, what's the name of the school? The magical school. I'm sorry.
Flame Skull?
The school.
Yeah, there was the. Oh God, I need to find it now. I'm so sorry.
That's
Wasn't
alright.
prepared. Hall of Erudition, which is
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah. So his mother would be quite a professor there
Yeah.
teaching.
Gil notices the symbol, but he doesn't really know anything about it. He wouldn't know.
18. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
good.
cool. So I just recognize it, but doesn't mean anything to him.
Okay. So Morgrid kind of shrugs his shoulder, and he's obviously doesn't care nearly as much about this dead Dwendalian soldiers as Hatum does. And you start marching through the swamp again, once again under the leadership, who's done a good job so far, of Hatum. But as you're traveling, Gil, can you just roll me a plain old D20, please? Plain old D20, no modifiers. Got that D20 for me? Gil?
Gil is muted. Not sure if he's here. If you step away for a second.
Maybe.
Sorry, I was
sorry.
quickly just in the kitchen. My bad.
Roll-
Yeah.
Roll me a D20, just a plain old D20.
I mean,
And now roll me a D12, please. The underused D12 dice.
How old is the black dragon in the swamp?
Well, this. So, you are wandering through the swamp. It's hard going. As I said, the water is sometimes a foot deep. There's occasional patches where you find dry land. Still squishy, of course, and sometimes 5 feet deep water. And as you wander through, actually, everybody roll me a d20, please. Ooh. Sigvard. Not sure it's not going to matter what everybody else rolls, but let's see. Maybe Hatum or Gil will roll worse.
I think should I roll again? I did roll
Yeah,
the D20.
another d20. Yep. So
Okay, cool.
another d20. Yep. Super 1 from
I
Sigvard, a 16
rolled.
from Cadis.
I rolled, but didn't show up in the Roll20 chats. It was a 2.
Oh, I see it. I see it in the log. I don't know why either. Sigvard, as you're going through the swamp, you're kind of breaking away a little bit from the rest of the party, as I imagine they don't have much of a problem kind of getting nice and dirty up in the water. But as
Yeah, I'll be
Oops.
like, stepping, looking where is the most shallow, just please just my graves. I don't want to go deeper. Step
absolutely.
by step.
Okay, so Hatum and Mulgrid kind of go around this, just wade through this deep area. Sigvard and Gil kind of behind. Sigvard, Gil and Cadis kind of just waiting for you to pop through. And let's just roll something. Ooh. You feel something brush against your leg, Sigvard, and you reflexively look down. Hatum, even with your passive perception of 16, you don't notice it. In fact, nobody notices it. And Sigvard, you look down at this thing around your ankles, and you realize it's a snake. But it's not like the snakes you saw in the swamp just before. It's a much, much bigger snake. And it instantly wraps around you and tries to constrict you and squeeze the light out of it. I need everybody, for the first time, to roll initiative. Now just make sure that you click on your token first, and then click on the initiative button in D&D Beyond, and then it should come through perfectly.
That's when I roll a natural.
Okay, now because of your passive perceptions was so low and it rolled quite high, it is going to get a surprise round.
Oh, no.
So that's not good. I should have these macros set up before. Okay, let's get a little bit of sound effects. I think I have a snake thing here. No, we'll just go with come on. What's it doing? There we go. Okay, so yes, you all look up, and just as Sigvard, maybe the last to react, he sees this snake coming around his ankles, and turns out it's a snake much, much bigger than him, and it immediately tries to coil around him and constrict him. It is going to get advantage on this because you didn't see it coming, and it rolls a 15 at advantage, Sigvard. So it goes to wrap around you, starts crushing you in, but your armor manages to repel it. Not so much you're helpless in the face of this, but the creature tries to wrap its sound around you, but your armor pushes it off, and it slinks away and prepares to come back for another attack. Cadis, you're the first to act as you see this snake try and coil itself around Sigvard. What do you do?
I will run up and stab it with a dagger.
All right, stab away. Okay, you get your dagger out, stick it deep into the snake, and you get purchase on it. Roll damage. Okay, it's a decent blow with your dagger on it. The snake doesn't seem terribly affected by it. It seems a lot more shots like this would take this creature down. Okay, is that your turn, Cadis?
I will use my bonus action to stab him again.
All right. So this is an offhanded attack. Yep, 16 hits again. So hack away. So that's just 2 points of damage because you don't get your modifier for your offhanded attack. So that's 2 points of damage for that one. Okay, but stab into him. Okay, so yes, you see Hatum, you see Cadis just bravely going up and slicing again. What do you do?
This is a big snake. Oh well. He's gonna slam his walking staff into the ground as it lights up a bit and just shoots his hand forward and shouts, "By the light of the Luxon, stay back!" And he's gonna cast Sacred Flame. Yeah. So Dex saving throw.
Okay. Let's make a dex saving throw for the snake. What's the DC? Probably
14.
Probably more than 8. Yeah, so your Sacred Flame comes, erupts on this creature, roll damage.
Oh, yeah.
8 points of damage. So yes, as I said, your Sacred Flame comes out, erupts onto this creature, and it's looking a little... Wasn't expecting this much resistance. It's kind of looking around. Is that your turn, Hartoon?
Yeah, it's gonna move 5, 10, 15, 20,
Okay.
25.
Oh,
Yeah,
back
just
up a
get
sec.
closer to the others.
This is difficult terrain. Everything is difficult terrain,
Oh.
so you can't do that amount
Okay.
of movement, unfortunately.
10, 20, 30. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, so in case I forget, it's all difficult terrain, as I said. Waist-high water, foot-high water, difficult. Sigvard, you almost got squished by a giant snake. What do you do?
Pathetic snake, I mean, what did he think? And I'm gonna attack it with my sword.
Okay.
And it's 11.
11. Yeah, it's let me just double check. Yeah, you do get purchase on the snake, but your longsword doesn't quite get enough to pierce through it. And it's just a swing and a miss. You try and stab it, no purchase.
I got it, it's almost done. You can finish it up, guys. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. Okay. Now it's a snake's turn. Okay, just gotta do one thing here. Ah. Okay, so snake's turn. The Giant Constrictor, the Giant Constrictor snake sees Sigvard trying to hit it. It gets a little... I think this is probably going to be easy prey. And it goes to try and constrict you again. Not doing so with advantage. Ooh, but this time it rolls a dirty 20. And you see as this creature just wraps up Gil, who becomes instantly restrained. Restrained? Yes, restrained. So, in case it matters, Sigvard, you have disadvantages on attacks. It has advantages. But it squeezes you, and you feel your blood vessels starting to pop, and it's not at all pleasant. And you take 13 points of damage. This thing crunches.
13, sorry.
Yeah, 13. 1-3.
Okay.
And then the creature starts dragging him away. He does have a swim speed, so he's going to go 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Cadus, if you like, you can take a swipe at the snake as it starts dragging Sigvard away. With an opportunity attack. Your dagger once again gets purchase, and you can roll damage for that as you hack into the snake as it goes past. 5 points of piercing damage. Nice. Okay, this is Snake's turn. Morgret says, "Bugger this. Told you the swamp would eat you alive." And he takes careful aim with his longbow at the snake. Pulls back, aims. The arrow rings true and it sinks into the back of the snake, doing 8 points of piercing damage. And Morgret says, "Ha! That's how we do it." Gil.
Gil looks at the side of the snake, looks a pretty boy, and an infernal... Oh well, it'll just whisper in the snake's ear with dissonant whispers. And he will do dissonant whispers. and it needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, wisdom saving throw. Got it. Wisdom saving throw. Oops, it's intelligence. Wisdom. It was an 18, so I don't think dissonant whispers will take effect.
No, it does nothing.
Okay, so you hear these unholy words, I guess, coming
wait.
from Gil. Yes.
On a successful save, the target takes half as much damage.
Oh, sure. Okay, so roll for damage and we'll take half.
So it's 11, I think it's psychic damage.
Yeah, we always, it is psychic, and we always round down, so that's 5 points of damage.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But the dissonant whisper, the snake does pause a little bit, shake off the effect, and continues to drag Sigvard away. Is that your turn, Gil?
Gil uses movement to just kind of move just vertically with it, so that would be 10, 20, 30.
Yep, but the difficult terrain, absolutely. Okay, so Gil's starting to chase after the snake. Hartoon, perhaps you're a little bit too distracted about it, because you didn't notice the crocodile coming up behind you. And the crocodile... The crocodile senses some weakness here, and it tries to bite into your Loxodon hide. Now, what was it, 23, which I think is going to hit you. Pretty sure, Hartoon, that's going to hit you.
Yep.
And you feel it sink into your large thigh, and it's taking up a piece out of it. Take 7 points of piercing damage, and make me an athletics or acrobatics check.
Let's see. Oh, let's see. I was a bit slow. No, I haven't got that yet. Acrobatics or athletics?
Yep, your choice. Whether you just try and brute your way out of it, or will you try and twist? You try and twist, get out of it, just pull it, but it's got a firm grip on your leg. And you too are restrained. So that's going to mean your movement is 0, and attacks against you will have advantage, and your attacks will be at disadvantage. Okay. Cadus, you look around, and it's not looking good for either Hartoon or Sigvard. What do you do?
I'm gonna aim and... Well, no, I can't do that because I'd have to put my daggers away, right, and take out a crossbow. I don't know how you choose to handle that.
No, if you just want to fire your crossbow, just say you fire your crossbow. That's fine.
Okay. I fire my crossbow at the snake.
At the snake? Okay. You've got the mark of the snake, and you take a shot, and your crossbow sinks into the hide of the snake. So you roll damage, 9 points of damage, nice. It flies across, digs deep into the snake. Just 9 points of damage. It's looking a little rough now, it has to be said. Okay.
I'll try to move a little bit over here.
Okay.
And I'm done.
Okay. Nice. Hartoon. This creature has got a firm grip on you. What do you do?
I'm gonna try to get away. I guess it would be an action to get out of the restraints.
An action to attempt to get out of the restraints.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'll do so. Athletics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nope.
You struggle and you pull, but you're still firmly in the grip. And I just added a thing. Notice that how Hartoon is highlighted now, indicating that it's his turn. Just a little thing I forgot to add, but I think it's pretty cool. So Hartoon, you struggle. The crocodile got a firm grip on your leg still.
Yeah.
Anything else? Would have to be a bonus
I'll
action if
save
it is.
my bonus action. Yeah, I'll save my bonus action for later.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll stay there.
Okay, so you got a grip. You see Hartoon getting out. Blood starts pouring out of this ghastly leg wound on your side. Sigvard, you're in a similarly difficult position. Snake's got you, and Sigvard's looking very rough. What do you do, Sigvard?
I will try to escape it too. I mean, I don't be grapple.
You can try to escape the grapple, sure.
Yeah.
Athletics or acrobatics?
17. 15.
You break free of the grapple using your action. You're free of the snake. But you see the snake immediately turn around and start hissing in your direction. What do you do?
I can't do any other action, right? That's all.
No, you can't do any other action. You just have your movement left.
Yeah. I'll go closer to Gil, like here. That's 30 feet. I might need help. Would you mind assistance? And that's it.
Okay, so you scamper around the side of the snake, not invoking...
Yeah.
not invoking attack of opportunity. So you're good in that respect. But now it's a giant snake's turn. And it sees you trying to pull away from you. From you. And... It's gonna bite. Nah, it's got to try and constrict again. And what's Sigrid's... once again, it gets around you and tries to squeeze you. But almost like a popping... You almost pop out of the grip thanks to your very thick armor on. It rolls a 14, so your armor protects you. And then it figures you're too slippery for it. And it's going to scoot away back this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sigvard, if you want, you can have an attack of opportunity.
Oh, curse. Don't you run away from me, coward. Oh, 20.
20 hits.
Yeah. 4... 6 damage.
So one-handed. Got it. Okay, the snake... It's got several cuts in it, though, with shots from Cadis and stabbing from Cadis. Mostly Cadis, actually. But Sigvard does get a shot on it as it pulls away. Morgrid pulls out his longbow. And he says to Hatum, let's see how selfless you are. Where do you want this arrow going? The snake or the crocodile?
Get me away from this thing.
Okay, and he says, fair enough. And he takes out his longbow, aims carefully at this giant crocodile, and he gets a cheer for himself because he rolls a natural 20 on his shot.
Nice.
As the arrow flies across and just... I'm going to say it hits it so well that it kind of gets that little piece in the mouth, around your leg, and it goes deep into its throat, and it kind of coughs and splurts, and it's such a good shot that it breaks the grapple. Breaks the grapple.
Thank you, Margaret.
Oh, my little thing isn't working. Maybe it needs to refresh. Anyway, so yeah, Hobgoblin poof, does an absolutely remarkable shot in it. Gil, what do you do? Let me take us a couple of steps back. Gil.
Check. So Gil will use his, and this is the first time you guys see this. His harp also has an extra string to it, which you can use as a bow. So he has his harp in front of him, and he will use it as a short bow to try and target the slithering snake.
Okay. Awesome.
So to hit. Nope, it's not there yet.
Yeah, haven't got your harp quite as well tuned. But you aim with the arrow, flies through the air, doesn't hit anything.
And then for my movement, I will scoot down. Just as I came. So 10, 20, 30.
Okay.
Oh, well, I can have one free for that. Yep.
Okay, perfect. The crocodile, kind of still coughing and splattering and blood pouring out of its mouth from the excellent shot by Morgrid, is still going to try and re-bite Hatum, get him back in his clutches again.
I'm going to use my reaction to use Warding Flare, just make a flash of light in its face to impose disadvantage on the attack roll.
Yeah. That's a first level spell, I assume, is it?
Oh, not a spell, it's a
Oh.
Light Cleric, yeah, class feature.
So okay, when you attack... Okay, so the crocodile reels up, attempts to take a bite out of you, and is about to get you, but then this... How does the flare look, Cartoon?
It's like a bright light, just for a millisecond of a flash. It's extremely bright. Just...
Okay, so the crocodile gets that in his eyes and kind of shakes it off, and he just bites the water next to you. The re-roll, at disadvantage, he rolls a 6, so it well misses. And then it looks around and is it going to? I'll give it a 50-50. 1 to 3, it's going to attack you again. Oh, it's going to flee. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hartoom, if you want to make an attack of opportunity, you can.
I can't, but I won't.
Why can't you?
I use my reaction.
Oh, the warding. Oh, yes, sorry. Warding flare is a reaction, absolutely. And the. Actually, he's doing the full dash. Let me just make one quick adjustment to the map. Make it a bit bigger, even though it doesn't look cool. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, using its swim speed, it's going to scuttling through the swamp. And off it goes. Cadus.
I'm gonna once again take aim and shoot this snake.
All right. Rolling very well so far. I jinxed you.
Past me.
I did. Arrow flies through the air and just splashes into the swamp, hitting nothing.
I'm good.
Okay. Hartoom, looking a little bloody, it has to be said. What do you do?
He's gonna limp a bit. Up here next to Morgridge, and he's gonna ready Sacred Flame. If the snake comes back to attack, he's gonna light it up.
Okay, cool. So getting
Stay
ready.
away.
Sacred Flame at the ready. Sigvard.
Just a question. If I'm using Sword Shield, can I still shoot a longbow or?
Yeah, you can shoot a longbow, absolutely.
Okay. I will be chasing. I will come back, you coward, and shoot him with a longbow.
Okay, take a shot.
13?
13 does hit.
Oh, that's a long sword. I am so sorry.
Okay, just reroll.
Well, that doesn't hit.
Yeah, so the reroll goes wide.
And
Okay.
yeah, that's all.
The snake. The snake doesn't like all these arrows shooting at it. It's not feeling great with the odds. And it stops as these arrows fly into it. It figures it's a dared. Its days are numbered, but it's at least going to take somebody with it. And it comes back to you, Sigvard. Once again, tries to constrict. Actually, it's going to try and bite you.
Oh,
I let loose the Sacred Flame.
Oh, okay, good. Yep.
So, Dex saving throw.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that. Thanks for pointing that out. Dexterity saving throw. That was a 7. So roll damage.
Oh. 6 radiant damage.
6. So your Sacred Flame does come off, explodes on the creature. Now it is looking thoroughly wrecked, but not so wrecked as to be dead. So it is going to get its attack on Sigvard. And already did it. Yeah, it rolled a 25, which is going to hit.
yeah.
And you take 9 points of piercing damage. And you see
down.
Sigvard fall to the ground, face down into the swamp, blood pouring out of this ghastly wound that this snake has put into it. Margaret said, "I told you the swamp would take one of you!" And he says, "Damn snake! He fires off his longbow. This time rolling 21, so it does hit. And the damage is 2 piercing. It's the worst you can roll. The snake is still hanging on. Gil.
He'll just looks at the snake. He sighs at Sigvard going down. It's like, why did you keep on chasing him? And he will look at the snake and cast sleep. He'll just start singing a sleepy lullaby. And hopefully it will work. I don't know.
I'll roll your dice.
We'll try. I'm scared. Oh, come on, why did I... That's not what I wanted.
If you click on the purple thing that says 5d8, that will roll it as well. And roll 20.
Oh, there we go. That was weird.
22 damage. So you see the blood around the snake's face as it deals a potentially fatal blow to it. And it's getting ready to completely envelop Sigvard like a boa constrictor snake. Just at the moment, pauses for a second, looks round, blinks its eyes. Then you hear, I don't know what a snake sounds like when it's sleeping, but it's very obvious the snake is asleep now.
Well, that should give us a moment or two to just fix this mess.
Yeah. Yep. So the spell is cast and snake falls to the ground. Is that your turn, Gil?
I will move my movement to Cadus. Cadus' side, so that would be 1, 2, 3 there.
That would be it. Okay,
Yeah.
you keep an eye on the crocodile, those who can see it, and it disappears deep into the swampy water. You lose sight of it. Cadus.
Well, I don't have anything that could possibly help Sigvard, so and I don't want to wake the snake up, so I'm gonna ready my crossbow in the event that I need to shoot it in a minute.
Okay, cool. Any character, by the way, in case you don't know, can attempt to stabilize Sigvard by making a medicine check with a DC 10.
Okay.
So keep that in
Well,
mind.
then-
Something. Oh, you'll do that
Then
instead?
I can do that. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I didn't
sure.
know that was a thing. So
Yep. So you're not going to give him any hit points or anything, but you're going to stop him from dying. So make a medicine check, and the DC is 10. Okay. So I imagine you flip Sigvard so he's not face down in the water.
yeah.
Oh, explain. How do you stabilize him? He's bleeding. It's full of water. What do you do, Cadus?
Flip him over, slap him on the face a bit.
Okay, and he coughs up a little bit of water. Then you hear some very shallow breathing. He is not moving, but he is also not dying. With no active creatures on the map, nobody dying, you can get out of initiative order.
Is he okay?
No, I don't think so.
The snake or Sigvard?
Oh,
Sigvard.
question.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be sleepy for long?
Not really. We have to move fast. We've got like a minute or so. I
Oh.
think. Right? Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if we'll be able to run far enough within the swamps for it to not to follow us. So we can always just all stand at the ready and then just stab at it at the same time.
As you're saying this, Morgoth has just taken his long slide and pierced right through the skull of the snake. Why have we been debating this? It's out of its misery. What are we going to do about
Or
this?
that.
Automatic ritual, I guess, yeah. Oh, well, I guess that's one way to do it.
I had 3 hit points left, by the way. Your Sacred Flame almost worked.
There'll be one for the books. I'm sure this could be written into the song.
Oh, yes, this is, well, quite a battle. Oh, poor little Sigvard here. Oh, I guess we need to get him back quickly. He's gonna
No.
slow us down if we keep dragging him with us into the swamps.
Suppose we should try to find a place to rest.
Yeah, I think since, well, we can't have someone sleeping on us. You did a good job, Cadis. This is nice medicine work. I'll try to help a bit more. Let's see if if the Luxon can help us. It's gonna pray to the Luxon in Undercommon and heal Sigvard for 8 HP. Yeah.
Nice.
That was brave, young man, but foolhardy. Are you okay?
Oh my god. Wait. I'm whipping out the mirror. The head mirror.
Gil reach out his hand and say, "Come, pretty boy, up to your feet." Been a rough morning, I would say.
Oh no, I'm already on my feet. I'm like handkerchief in the hand, scraping all the mud everywhere. This is so unhealthy. Do you know how bad it is for skin? Well, I've seen one guy having this, I don't know what they call Zeds or whatever. No. Okay, and grab it like you can. Just panicking, applying some oil.
Your mouth is full of mud and swamp water as well.
Yeah, that's handkerchief. I tried to like rub it out fully.
Sarcastically,
No, sorry.
I was going to say, sarcastically, Gil will turn to Cadis and say, "So are you going to start the letter to his father, or should I?"
Oh, never me. Never me.
Alrighty. I mean, we really should look for a little bit of cover. We've been ambushed with 2 gigantic creatures. Margaret, do you know like somewhere we can just lick our wounds?
Well, let's move for a little bit. There's a giant crocodile around here somewhere. Let's head 10 minutes that way. Let's see if we can find somewhere a bit less damp to rest. Hartoum, you seem to be good at that. See if you can find us some dry land. And just make a straight survival check for me, Hartoum. If someone wants to help you, you can make it at advantage for this one.
Yeah, just before we were going for the camp, I would just give Hatum 4 hit points back with my lay on hands.
Ah, nice. 4 more hit points. Nice. Oh, 4 hit points to Hartoum. Okay, great. Okay, so once again, with Hartoum leading the way, seeming to do an excellent job in the Broken Vale Marsh, you push on, and about 10 minutes you find a relatively dry piece of land. It's still a little damp and squishy, of course. Hartoum, roll me a d20, please. Okay. So, the land is pretty nice, as I said. Could be a lot worse. But he does find a decent place for you. Can everybody make me a Constitution save? And because Hartoum did such an excellent job, you can make this Constitution save at advantage. Okay, Cadis, you're good. Hartoum, you're excellent. It's at advantage. I don't know why I did that way anyway, but you rolled us. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so Cadis, you're taking a rest, and there's swamp gases all around, but you're a hardy lass. Hartoum, you're a hardy Loxodon. You get through it. Sigvard, maybe refusing to get sick and avoiding the bits and pieces. But Gil, you start to feel a little queasy, Gil. You're not quite sure what's going on. But you see Gil turning a slight shade of green, which is an interesting contrast to his bright tiefling skin. And can you roll me a d4, please, Gil?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. You feel like crap, as I said. You're not entirely sure what it is, but your short rest did not go well, and you can take 1 point of exhaustion, please.
Where do I do that in
Conditions.
D&D Beyond?
You see right under your hit points, it says conditions. It says add active
Cool.
conditions, and then just click on one level
Cool.
of exhaustion. Yeah. There we go. Other than that, you do get a successful long rest. So if you want to roll hit points or roll some hit dice, I should say.
Short rest or long
Short rest.
Short rest, yeah. Yeah, that's a,
Okay.
roll with the hit
It's a
dice.
long rest.
I know. No, short rest. I don't know what I said, but I meant short rest. Nice.
Oh. I think I'm blind. I can't see the hit die. Oh, ignore me.
It's under short rest.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, that puts everybody at maximum, I think. Okay, during the short rest, Mulgrid kind of sidles up to Cadus. Says, hey, Cadus, yeah, mind if I have a quick word with you? I got a couple of concerns I'd like to run past you.
Sure, Morgred, what you got?
Well, to be frank, Hartoom, I've never met a Loxodon before, but he seems to be a decent sort. He's led us through this swamp well. He's got a good head on his shoulder. Gil, he's a little bit brave but foolhardy. But Sigvard, what do you make of this guy?
He's a bit of a spoiled pretty boy, but I feel there's more under there that we don't know yet.
Do you think he's up to this mission? Man, I don't want to
Oh, I
put it
don't
so...
think he has a choice.
Do you think...
We're in the swamp.
Well, he is in the swamp with us, it's true. I'm just not sure. I mean, he got attacked by that snake. I mean, he literally got attacked by the snake because he was too afraid to put his foot in the water. That's concerning.
We could push him in the water next time.
He got a good taste of it when the snake actually took him down.
What are you suggesting?
I'm really just asking you. I mean, you've got a good head on your shoulders as well. Just keep an eye on him for me, will you? I mean, he does wield those swords quite well. He's well armored, which basically saved his life against that snake. I think we just need to keep an eye on him.
Your thing.
Right, Mulgrid nods and goes back to just patching up his wounds and getting ready. Is there anything else anybody would like to do, talk or anything in their short rest?
Gil doesn't really need the rest a lot, so he will take notes of the encounter, physically writing out how close people were to each other, writing all of the details. He's going to put this into song and lore later on for other people's enjoyment.
Okay, cool. What about Sigvard or Hartoom?
I think Atum is gonna go up to Sigvard and say, "You okay, Sigvard? That was quite a risk you took."
Well, I mean, I know I usually don't use this oil. You see, I usually don't take those risks, kind of. But since you mean the snake? Yes. Uh, well, I think I almost got him, to be honest. I think this won't just make me nauseous. That's why I've fallen down. I'm pretty sure I'll be fine. Trust me about that. Like I'm a battle-hardened man. I know what I'm doing. But when we get the chance go to a city of that, I need to resupply because I was not prepared for the amount of kit that I would have to use up. But yeah, other than that, I'm doing fine. Thank you for healing me, as yeah, I did feel a bit dizzy at some time.
Yeah, well, and thank you as well for the healing. But you should thank the young lady, Miss Katie. She ran to your rescue um, uh, before I could get in, so it's all her thanks.
And
But
Sigvard, just as Hartum is saying this, you notice a rat comes and sits on your lap. Oh, the rat too. No, a rat. Explain what the rat's doing, Kate. Is it sits on Sigvard?
Yeah, it just runs up and
Like on the
basically.
shoulder, on the head?
Sure, I'll say the shoulder.
Okay.
Isn't that panic? What is that? I'm just freezing like,
oh, hi there, little
Mister
fella.
Hatum. I think I'm in under need of assistance. Can you? I feel it on my shoulder. What is that?
Atum is gonna just extend his hand towards the rat. Hi there. I'm not sure if I saw
Genghis
the
is
rat
very
on
friendly,
Cadus.
so
Oh, it's yours.
yes, Genghis is my rat, and he
It's-
runs back to me.
oh, well, it's quite cute. I've heard some humans in my travels talk about those animals that look like me, and well, how they don't match really well. We're supposed to be really scared of them, but just superstition, I think. Oh, by the way, Sigvard, um, those spices and oils you use, I would love to take you to my homeland one time to see the bazaars. They have some of the most amazing goods in Exandria. You'd find quite some spices and oils to use for your uh, skin
Sandria.
ointments.
Where's
Uh,
that?
in, Ankarel in Marquette. It's a jewel of the desert.
Oh, I mean, yeah, sure, but just my skin doesn't do well in arid places, you see. But if you suggest, I think I cannot just say no to it. I will send somebody to check on that. I'll be very glad.
Mm.
Thank you. Oh, and thank you, Cadis, for stabilizing me, even though I certainly didn't need it, but you went out of your way to help me, which I truly appreciate. But that rat of yours, do you wash him by any chance?
My rat?
Yes, your adorable friend.
He handles himself.
That's a Novan. Okay. Well,
He's
thank
very
you.
friendly.
Yeah, I'll keep the friendliest to a 5 feet distance, if that's okay.
I'll let him know.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I will go tend to my appliances.
Okay. So as the party takes a short rest, we're going to do the same. Let's just take a 5-minute break, get a drink or bathroom or something, and we'll see you guys back in 5 minutes. Sound good?
Yep.
Okay, so short
Sounds
break,
good.
guys. back into it then. Okay, so long rest successfully done. It went well apart from Gil, who didn't react quite as well. But swamp water in the anyway, didn't go well. So Gil's looking still a little green, so he's still exhausted. The swamp seems to be getting through you. And I'm assuming you're heading off at a slow pace again. So Hatum, who seems to be leading this, can you make another survival check, please? As you continue at a relatively slow pace.
Can I guide myself for this? I forgot I had that.
No. Because guidance is a short thing, but this is an hour-long task. So just straight survival.
Yes.
But it's nice to know at least somebody has guidance, because it's such a useful spell. Okay, and can you roll me a d6, please?
Yes.
Okay, so Hatum, with great confidence, you start heading off west. And you stop, and after a few hours, you look around and you realize you're going in completely the wrong direction.
Stop. I think, no, I think we have it somewhere not where we're going. I seem to be a bit lost. Margaret, are you familiar with this place?
Look, I was relying on you, Hatum. I mean, you realize where you were, where you basically almost rise above the swamp and you get a glance around the area. And you see Urzon more or less north of you. You understand we're supposed to be traveling west, right?
Oh, yeah. This is just a bit disorienting.
Hey,
Off.
Wait.
You're supposed to be the guide.
Everybody quiet! Shush! Do you see that? And not Bolbara, Mulgrid points out, and you see, to the south of you, you see. Actually, everybody make a perception check. Oh, Sigvard, nice. Okay. Gil, of course, that should technically be at disadvantage because you're exhausted.
Oh,
but,
yeah, so sorry.
But
Yes.
3 sucks anyway, so it's fine. So not paying it all attention, and you still don't see it out when Morgred points it out. But what you do see, though, I imagine someone points you in the right direction eventually, Gil. But Cadus and Sigvard, you get a bead on what he's talking about. And what you see is... I just got to roll one more thing. You see a Dwendalian patrol. There seems to be one person who is basically shouting at 4 other Dwendalian soldiers. And Sigvard and Cadus, you hear the person, like a captain, something like that, just berating his troops. I don't know what the hell we're doing. Look, John, we're relying on you to get us back to Fort Venture, and God knows who we are. We're miles away from it. Shit, what are we going to do? You useless pack of bastards. Why did we even take you out here? What are we going to do now? And the soldiers accompanying this Dwendalian captain just look utterly miserable. I mean, they're coated from head to toe in just gunk of the swamp. You guys, I mean, you got mud all over you, but it looks like these guys have fallen down a couple of times and are so over it that they're not even bothered to wipe the gunk off themselves. They look miserable. It's obvious, even with your bad survival check, that they are miles and miles away from home. Margaret says, "Shush! There they are. What do you think we should do?"
Naturally, greet them. It's just fellow soldiers. We can just carry them to the fort with us.
They're literally the enemy of the dynasty. Those are the bad guys.
The land that you're in is at war with those people. You realize that?
Well, war, not war. They have right to go back home. They probably will happily help us as well, especially if they see my crest. I mean, they're peasantry. They're gonna listen to me. Don't need to worry about that.
I love Sigvard so much.
Yeah.
But Morgred is not quite as big a fan as Malcolm is. What the? Just Hartoon, Gil. You be quiet, Sigvard. Just shush. These are not friends. They're literally enemies in our land. In my land, anyway.
Well, your land, his land, you know.
I think we should perhaps stay out of their way.
Agreed.
knows?
I'm fine with letting them continue to be lost in the swamp.
I mean, they will die, clearly. Are you okay? It's just like murder with extra steps.
We're out here in the swamp and you might die. Is that murder?
I would never die.
Oh. Well,
Kill. Sorry, I'm not really well right now.
I can tell you
I'm-
to look.
I'm all for poking the bear, but not when there's a snake going to poke my back. So how about we just leave them for them to be wherever the fuck they're going, and let's just sort out where we're going. Both goes clearly we're lost.
They're
Fair.
going
We're
for
lost.
two. They're going.
I wouldn't want to kill future subjects of the Luxon. I mean, this war is eventually going to be won by the Bright Queen. They'll be under the light of the Luxon eventually. Wouldn't want to kill future subjects.
Couldn't be more of a fence sitter with this war. But right now, I do believe that our lives, and definitely Sigvard's, because I mean, he likes to tempt death, is maybe a little bit more important than the war.
I agree.
They clearly. You said they want to go back to fort. They probably will be suitable company to just, get all back together. Maybe even the captain will appreciate that we brought some troops as well.
I'm not sure. If you look at my vestments, they mark me as a subject of the Bright Queen and the Kryn dynasty, and, well, I'm not sure they take lightly to Cadis as well, just by her ancestry.
yeah, I'm
What
not
you
trying to
mean?
get murdered. And I'm afraid Morgard here is he's our guide. We're on a job, and he's kind of the boss.
Sigvard, all of a sudden you're going to start wanting to give our gold to these fellow wanderers.
Please, no. They peasants don't serve us. I'm not gonna pay them. Who would pay
No.
them?
If you trust them so much, you could join them, and then we could make our way to the fort.
No, we're party. We adventuring party. I've read about parties. We can as a group. I'm just suggesting to allow them to accompany us.
We are the adventuring party, not us and them. It was us, the small room, the 4 people in that room. That's the party, and we have to go.
Question, Sigvard.
Yes.
If you're wrong, and we confront this group and they attack us, are you willing to kill your homeland's people?
They will not attack us. If they would attack
But
us,
if they do,
that means they're traitors in their own country, because I am a nobleman. If a peasant raise a hand at nobleman, that means they the traitor, which would show they're not actual empire warriors. They're just
All right, I'm
pretenders.
sick of your babbling, man. Hush up. I asked you to be quiet. I wasn't expecting a monologue about your politics. Listen, I'm not the leader of this group. I appreciate the sentiment, Arcadis, but I'm not the leader. I'm merely your guide. But if you want my advice, we should shut the hell up, lie down, and let this patrol pass. And with that, Morgan kind of slinks down and tries to make himself look less visible and glares around at the rest of you, expecting you to do the same.
And
Yeah,
Cadus
we'll do
does.
this.
I also slink into the shadows.
Yeah, similar. Like I could kind of go on my hunches, but while I do that, I'm like, well, Margaret, then be a guide. Why are you giving a guy with a big nose who has no idea where we're going the idea of direction if you're supposed to guide us? That's your job.
That's an interesting point. In the meantime, shut the hell up. We'll discuss it later. Be quiet.
Oh, but in light of the Luxon, Matum is gonna guide himself and try to hide somehow.
So, because of the mist in the swamp, it's actually working to your advantage. So you can roll stealth at advantage, except for Gil, because you're exhausted. So Gil, you'll be a straight roll. And yes, you may guide yourself, Hatum. So everybody at advantage, except for Gil, who's exhausted.
Disadvantage for me regardless. Heavy armor. Yeah.
Okay. But advantage because of the swamp. So straight roll.
Then, right?
Yeah. Oh, what are we right about with that 22? So Cadus 10. Not great. Sigvard. Oh dear. Oh, so I was looking at her tomb thinking you rolled a 2. So yours is a 20. So we got 10, 22, 21, and 5. Actually, Morgrid needs to roll 2. Let's give Morgrid a roll. Let's see what he gets. Survival is... Stealth is Dex, right? Yeah, it's Dex, yeah. Okay, so we'll make a Dex check at advantage. He gets a 12. Okay, as your... Actually, what's their passive perception is... that. Okay. So you all hunkered down, finding little bits in the swamp. Sigvard, you start squelching around, being a lot louder than you need to. Hatum, with your natural 20, how do you help Sigvard keep quiet?
I guess Hatum has found some hiding place behind a tree or something, and he's gonna just yank Sigvard to him and just try to hide him behind his body and try to...
Okay. So with that, Hatum, as I said, put him behind your body, and you see the leader of the guard kind of look around the patrol and, did you guys hear that? And they all, the soldiers with them kind of look warily around and kind of shake their heads and kind of starts trudging back through the swamp again. And the leader, the captain or whatever he is, shrugs, and they keep on heading southeast, basically going in completely the wrong direction. All right, guess they're gone. Men, they look kind of dead anyway. I mean, best case scenario, they get out of the swamp to the east, get themselves firmly into Jorhasian territory, and they're as good as dead anyway. All right. Now, to your question, Gil.
Yeah. Mark your words very carefully, because we have to return to Lord Buffle. And should you be any less help than he intended to, I'll make sure that he hears of it.
Look, we're together alone in this swamp, however you look at it. And your veiled threats are not appreciated.
I'm not very threatening, but I'm pretty sure your lord is.
to answer your question. And he's glaring at you, shooting daggers at you. And with his glaze, he kind of stops and blinks and says, all right, since we're in this swamp together. And he brings out a dagger, not threateningly, not like pointing at you or anything, girl, but brings it up to his eye. And he taps on his eye. And you get a look closer, and it's plainly he's wearing a glass eye. He says, my vision isn't really what it should be. It's just had a bit of a disagreement with a goblin over a game of cards. Cost me my eye, but cost the goblin a little bit more, shall we say. So yeah, I can lead you to the swamp, but it's not what you'd call my speciality. Is that suitable enough for you, Gil?
Yeah,
Have I
I'm glad that we can
explained
see
myself well? Are you going to go tell Lord Buffle about my eye now?
I'm pretty sure we can see eye to eye on this one. And maybe just give assistance. You shouldn't be able to give visual assistance, but maybe verbal assistance to help Hatum in his endeavors. You don't have to squint and scout, one would say, but maybe just verbally guide would also help.
I'd like that.
Do we know which way is west?
And now you're on the slight hillock, which allowed you to see both the Dwendalian patrol
Oh, yeah.
and where Urzon was. You have a firm direction. But soon you'll be back into the swamp. You know, waist-high water at best. But you do know which way west is now. Hatum, if you feel you're the right person, the right Luxodon for this job, then pray tell, lead on.
I'll give it my best.
Okay, now the survival check, I assume, is still at a slow pace.
Is Morgred helping him this time? Does he get some help? Did my talks help at all?
No, he's
Damn it.
he's not verbally helping.
Cool.
Oof.
Oh man, roll me another d6. One. So I'll just tell you, for your survival checks, the DC is 15. Because you're going at a slow pace, the DC reduces to 10. 6 doesn't work. And you rolled a 1. Once again, you get a hillock, get your bearings, and you look up and you see Urzon just a few miles to the north of you.
Oh,
Oh, for the love of the gods!
I feel like I've seen that tree before. Hatum, are you sure we're going right direction?
no, this is way back. Oh.
Yeah. And just unfortunate with the D6 determines which hex you go into, and that was the direction you go. Your step tracker is well over 10,000 steps, Gil. And night is starting to fall. You've made a negligible amount of progress. Oh my god, what do you think we should do? Are you sure you're up to this, Hatum?
Well, I'm terribly sorry. If anyone wants to take over, I'll be happy to recognize my position. I can try to spot dangers or something.
Well,
Yeah.
who else? We need a change, guys. This is just ridiculous.
I know the way. I will follow you. Lead you. There you go. Wrong word. Unless somebody else wants to.
I would rather you not do that, so I can do my best, and we can take shifts if we'd like.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's...
for me, if it was me, it's the blind leading the blind, I'm pretty useless. Like northwest, south. These are just words can be used in poems, but they don't mean anything to me.
I'll do my best.
Well,
But it is almost nightfall, so.
I suggest we camp up here. Oh my God, I don't know. I mean, this has gone poorly. We need to get to Fort Venture. I mean, I'm assuming that Bulbar is there. As I said, worth checking out these other places, but let's just hope that she's still alive by the time we get there. But yes, let's take up camp. Maybe this is your chance to shine, Cadus. Find us somewhere nice to camp up for the night. And you can make a survival check if you like, Cadus, to find a suitable spot, perhaps a bit drier. 13. Reasonable. Of course, out of character, it does make sense for Hatum to do it with his what, +4 to survival? But yeah, players don't know that. Yep. But Cadus, you lead well initially. You do find a nice place in the swamp to rest up. And just before I forget, can everybody make me a Constitution saving throw, please? With advantage, because Cadus has found a nice spot.
Straight roll for me still.
Not for saves. Saves you're straight. Exhaustion doesn't affect saving throws, just ability checks.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so you're good.
I'm not good.
Oh no.
11. Okay, Cadus, you're good. Oh my goodness. Hatum, you're good. Sigvard, you're good. So this doesn't happen to the morning. But Gil, you'll have 2 points of exhaustion come morning time. And I think that means half speed. Ooh.
But I do rest, so does that mean that I lose one again?
Not with a Constitution saving throw of 8. If you succeeded through this, so you're going to wake up just an absolute wreck. So Gil, roll me. This has nothing to do with Gil per se, but just roll me a d20, just to see if something happens in the night. 11. Okay. Now what? Just to make things a bit easier, I'm going to add a new character to your party. It is called just Party. There we go. So you all should see it, and you all should be able to edit it. I'll just bring Mr. Party down here. And I'm going to make some notes on Party about your watch order. So, just so this will be easier in the future, who would like to take the first watch? And we'll just have this as standard.
I'll do that.
Okay, so first watch is Cadus. Second watch?
Yeah. Sigvard, do you need a beauty sleep? Do you need to go seconds?
Is that truly a question? Yes.
Well,
truly
I
need
thought you would
beauty.
battle Cadus for first place.
Okay, I can have a last one. I can first have my beauty sleep and then watch over you.
Brilliant. Hatum?
So you're taking
second or
second
third?
watch skill?
Checking in with Hatum whether he wants second or third.
I could take third.
I'll follow Cadus then.
I'll
Okay.
take the last.
Okay, so we've got Cadus, Sorry, Hatum and Sigvard on the second watch. And, sorry. First watch, Cadus. Second watch, Gil. Third watch, Sigvard and Hatum. Now, I'm going to say for this one, Hatum, you notice how utterly miserable Gil is. He's barely paying attention. You fear he's going to fall asleep and might miss the entire... Actually, Cadus, you notice this. You're looking to wake up Gil, but Gil just looks feverish. He's shaking. He's not doing well. So as your first watch ends, Cadus, what do you do?
Can I offer to let Gil continue to rest and just take a second watch?
If you'd like, but should be risking a point of exhaustion.
Well, I'll nudge at him and wake him up.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, Gil, you wake up, you feel like shit, but you begin your watch. Actually, sorry, Cadus, can you make me a perception check while it was your watch? Okay, you keep a good watch. You don't notice anything. And there's always like snakes and rats and mice and other creatures of the swamp. Nothing that strikes you as dangerous, but you nudge into Gil and wake him up. Gil, make a perception check at disadvantage.
Gladly, sir. Why does it do that? Holding control doesn't work with this mouse of mine on a Mac. No.
Sometimes you have to actually click on the window itself. Because unless you have like focus, I think is the word, it doesn't work. Or you can just roll perception twice if that's easier. Oh, there we go. Is that a disadvantage? Oh my goodness.
I don't know why it does that sometimes.
It's two of them, and it took the 4, so which was right.
Yep. Okay.
That was a disadvantage.
So you're feeling so crappy, Gilly. You start staring at your shoes and not much else, and you feel actually a weariness come over you. Can you make me another Constitution saving throw, please?
Saving throws are not at a disadvantage.
Yep. Just straight. Yep.
Right. These rolls are going great.
You stare at your toes. You feel the nausea coming over you, and you do the cardinal sin. That is the number one thing you don't do while keeping watch, and you fall asleep during your watch.
Oh, wonderful. Did I get at least a nice and cozy spot? Am I leaning against a tree, or am I folding double over, just sitting upright?
You don't find a comfortable spot, which is part of the reason why you got so sick during this time.
Lovely.
Eventually, the sun... Actually, roll me a d20 as well, Gil.
Probably a nat one. Hold up.
Well, there's no good or bad rolls. It's just a look-up table. But a 6 means nothing happens during your watch, or Sigvard's or Hatum's for that reason. But the morning comes up. Actually, Cadus, Morgrid will just watch with you. He'll have that watch with you. So, morning comes. Sunlight peers through the fog. You all can't help but notice that Gil did not wake Sigvard, did not wake Hatum, and slept through his watch. And he looks terrible.
I'm gonna go over and wake up Gil. Hey. Hey, wake up.
Another
sleepyhead.
hour. I feel like
you to rest
shit. I don't want to go to school.
You look like shit.
Yeah.
You are shit. You slept through your watch. Do you know how dangerous that is? Get your head in the game.
Obviously. Look, man, this man is obviously afflicted by something.
Then he should have woken one of us up. He literally literally fell asleep in his watch. You know how dangerous that is?
Yet we're
That's
all
some fresh
alive.
air, man. It's all of these trees and oxygen. I just got a little bit overwhelmed.
Yeah, you look terrible. Would you like me to? You can ride on my shoulders if you want. I'm
Uh,
quite sturdy.
I'll swallow my pride and gladly. I feel like shit.
Oh, yeah.
How
when you're
heavy
ready
is
to go.
how heavy is Gil?
I have no idea how weight works.
Sure, but is he
medium
slight?
character?
Is he slight? Is he medium? Is he heavy?
Yeah, he's quite slender built. Kind of elegantly looking. Yeah.
Okay, and Sigvard is the opposite. Not Sigvard, sorry. Hatum is the opposite.
Yeah, I've got a like the what's it called? The racial trait, powerful build. So I can carry up to carrying capacity 390 pounds and a push drag or lift limit for 780 pounds.
Oh, I
Damn,
think
son.
Gil is well under 390 pounds. So I think otherwise I'd be giving you some disadvantages on stuff, Hatum, but because of your powerful build and because Gil is so slight, you can absolutely put him up on his shoulder. And yeah. Mulgrid looks as if he's getting a migraine at this point. He looks at Sigvard, probably applying oils. He looks at Gil, just an absolute wreck. And he glares at Hatum as well, as Hatum has successfully led you back to Urzen. And he looks at Cadus. Cadus, please, let's get going. And Cadus,
Let's.
make a survival check.
Now, just to point, Stigvar will be peeling off his night mask, not applying oils. Just...
What the actual hell? Well, it might go okay, depending on your d6. Roll me a d6.
These rolls
Cadus.
are terrible. I'm loving it.
I gotta do one of these.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
This system
d6,
is
Cadus.
we're gonna
Oh,
get all
sorry,
the way
the
back
one.
to Urzen. No.
Just take me back. I want the bed.
No,
I need some rest.
I know I was asking for, an inn, but I didn't mean going back to this.
Maybe we should procure a compass while we're here and some map.
Look, I'm not showing my head back in Urzen. We haven't got Bolbara.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not going back in there. Hatum, do you think that you want to give this another go?
At least we're
maybe-
vaguely in the right direction, Hatum. Do it. Guide us.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll try.
So maybe like a tavern that I could just rest for like a day.
We're
I feel
not
like
showing
shit.
our faces back in there.
We're not going back in there. Do you want to die?
No, it feels like I'm already dying.
Hatum, as if you get this shit show back on the road.
Let's see.
It's gonna be 9. Oh my god!
I am going to
D6.
point out that at the start of every campaign, I give everybody a DM inspiration, which basically lets you re-roll a d20 anytime it's completely terrible. Perhaps I should have mentioned this before, but I'm going to mention this to you now, Hatum. Would you like to use your DM inspiration to re-roll that
Gil would have
survival
loved
check?
that.
For me, my natty one.
Yeah,
I'll
well,
use
we'll
my-
pick it up from here, Stu.
yeah.
Okay.
It's my survival. Yeah, again. You're shitting.
No, I'm out. No way.
So this is a joke.
D6, Hatum?
Oh yeah, I rolled 1. I got a 2, but I can roll again.
Hey, roll again. A 2.
Round 1. So we go
a
up.
5.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say with a 1, 2, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not bad. That's actually really good.
We're
So
getting
that would be
lost in
1,
the
2, 3,
correct
4.
direction.
You do? By
Accidentally in the right direction.
sheer luck, you pass the swamp where you saw the Duendalian soldier, and you actually head west, rather fortunately. That gets you through to about there, halfway through the day. And Cadus, can you roll me a d20, please?
I
1.
want to jump off of roof.
Oh, no. This is just 1 and 20 are equally as good for this. But, but you can feel bad about your 1 if you like. In this case, 1 is actually good. Yeah, 1's good. 1 is actually the best thing you could have rolled for this. High is bad for this particular roll, but 1 is good.
Incredible.
So you, 1s are turning around. You get a yay for a 1 for the first time perhaps in history. And by sheer luck, but you don't know this, Hartoum. You go west, and as you get a chance to veer your direction, you're going in exactly the right direction. If anything, you feel you need to veer south. And Morga takes a deep breath. Well, at least we're going basically in the right direction. And for the second time, make another survival check, Hartoum.
You can do it.
Uh,
Please, below 10. Yeah.
I just don't know what to say. I'm getting tired of pressing this
feel
fail button. 2.
that's not good, I think.
Doesn't it take us back again?
Can we just go up at least somewhere new?
I'm saying you go back to there. You realize that you're back at the Dwendalian dead soldier, and you reposition your compass and make another survival check, Hartoum. Yeah. I just can't have you wandering around the swamp forever. We've had 3s, we've had 1. 15! With confidence, you head in a not just west, but southwest. And you start making your way boldly down. I'm going to say you get about here, and you notice 2 things. I almost overshot it, but you notice there's Hartoum, you'll notice this with your passive perception anyway. There appears to be the skulls and bones of some gigantic creatures to the immediate east of you. I'm not entirely sure what they are. And anybody who is proficient with nature, can you make me a nature check, please? As Hartoum points this out. Anybody proficient with nature can make me a nature check.
But he's proficient.
Yep, just if you're proficient. Oh, I guess that's crickets for that. Okay, so you notice some bones are huge. You don't know what they are. And some of and it's almost like in a little bit of a valley. To learn more about it, you'd have to get closer. But Hartoum, you also notice to the immediate east a large tower rising from the swamp. That's all I'll give you now. You'd have to get closer to do it. So to the west, a tower of some sort. To the east, maybe a boneyard, something like that.
What do you guys think?
Let's go to the tower. That's my suggestion, yeah.
From where we're standing, that would be in the wrong direction to go towards the
Sorry,
tower.
tower in the right direction, boneyard in the wrong direction.
Okay.
There would only be
then
about an hour or so to get to the boneyard, so it's not a big detour, but it is a detour.
I say we have had a lot of detours, and I vote for the tower.
Yeah, wherever there's large bones, there must probably something making those bones, so... Shouldn't... That sounds dangerous.
I just want a bed.
Well, tower might have a bed. It's a tower after all. Somebody lives there. Maybe they have beds, bedrolls.
Sounds good.
Okay, Morgred says, well, if we want to make the tower before nightfall, we're going to have to do double time. So, get those legs working and let's rush quickly forward. Can everybody just make me a Constitution saving throw, please? Gil, you don't need to make one.
Gil?
Gil doesn't need to make one because he's along for the ride.
Yep.
So this is...
At advantage.
Nope, just straight. Okay, and just... Oh, there they are. There's the three that we need. You press on, going quickly forward through the swamp. Night falls before you get to the base of the tower, though. And you're almost like running blind through the swamp at this point. Morgred says, I don't like this. We're gonna need light to push on. Wandering through the swamp and darkness is just madness.
I can fix that. He's gonna take his walking staff into the sky and just use the light cantrip as it starts glowing.
Wait. Won't we just be beacons? Oh no. And then it goes, that's fine.
I mean, you're right to point that out. We're beacons, but I don't like being in the swamp at night. But regardless, Hatum, your staff lights up, and you do manage to push forward and get to the base of this tower. I'll put you there. And this is right at the end of the day, as I said. So this tower, it's squat, it's cylindrical, and it's a 3-story structure plus the roof, and it juts up out of the water ahead, and its crumbling stones sag with age. Excuse me. And half of the time-worn building's first floor have already been subsumed by the murky marsh. And shadowy openings mark the location of an arched doorway at ground level. So, basically a half-sunken tower. It's leaning slightly to its side, but not concerningly so. Excuse me. So what would you like to do?
Well, Gil is like half sleeping on Hatum's shoulders. He'll just kind of continue to do pretty much nothing.
Okay.
Morgan, do you know anything about this tower?
Nah, never seen it before, sorry.
It's better than sleeping another night in this marsh. I think we should go in and maybe go on the upper level, stay away from the snakes and whatever else is swimming.
I mean, I think, says Morgan, I think that's an excellent idea. This idiot, he says, gesturing to Gil, needs a good night's rest. At least we'll be out of the swamp here. I agree with whoever made that suggestion. It's a good idea. We need to get a good night's rest. We're wandering around in circles. Half of us are just... That's my advice. We need to stop here.
Okay. Then I guess the first floor is underwater, so we find a way to enter the upper floors.
There's still an archway. You can enter the first floor. It'll be a bit dirty and murky, but you can definitely go in there. Just half underwater, like about 5 feet of it's fallen into the swamp. So you can enter on the first floor if you want.
I'll just run for the second floor. I don't want to be in the swamp water.
Well, let me show you what you see on the first floor. This is what you see. Hopefully I did this right. Yeah, so these doors you notice are all open. You can see through them no problem. So you see stairs heading up to the upper level. And right on the ceilings you do see a whole bunch of spider webs. And some of them are so thick in places you couldn't really... I mean, you could try and push through them to get to the upper floors, but there's definitely a lot of spider webs around.
Not to point out the obvious, but I think there are spiders here, and maybe we should not just run in. Maybe either we can burn the webs. That might really piss him off, but it could help. Or we could just smartly navigate this. We might not be alone in the tower.
Fair enough. There's not really anywhere else to sleep either. So.
We should be careful with fire. Might burn down the building. Or is it mostly stone?
It's mostly stone. The interior structures are mostly wood, though. But you do notice, given the dampness of the swamp, it's like the the doors are swollen and have fallen off their hinges, and everything just looks damp. You could set it on fire, but it'd be very hard to do accidentally.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'd taken like maybe an hour or so to set this place alight, if you were lucky. It's just damp.
Okay. Well, I guess we can attempt to find somewhere to sleep in here, if that's alright with you guys.
That's an excellent idea, Cadis. And I'm going to ask you. You're the only sensible person here. You haven't got exhausted. You're not worried about your armor. You haven't got us lost. Actually, you did get us lost, but
I did.
what are we going to do with these webs?
I say we can knock them out of the way as we go. And I guess pay careful attention to if there is anyone home inside of them.
Okay, so we're going to hack our way through as opposed to burn our way through. All right. So you're going to lead the way up the stairs, Cadis? Okay. And you're going to hack through the webs as you go?
Yep.
It takes a little bit of effort, but you clear just that section on the first floor there. And
Gil
then
will keep his eyes on the roof. Sorry, just as we go along. He will just continuously be able to just look at the roof while walking up.
So you're always looking up. In other words, okay, sure. Make me a perception check.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Yeah, I'm great at these. Oh, something in double digits.
At disadvantage.
Oh shit. I'll do that. I'll just do it.
Just roll again. Roll again, yeah.
Oh no.
So 11. Okay, so I'll keep that 11 in mind. So, Cadis, you push through, and you get through onto the second floor. Is everybody else following her?
I was about to ask that. Is anyone else coming?
Oh, yeah.
Gil was enthusiastic, but walked slowly.
Okay. Just stay still for a second, Cadis, and I'll move you to the second floor. Tomb, you're following?
Yep.
Okay. Gil, if you're still on Hatum, then you're definitely following. Morgrid follows. Sigvard, you're coming as well?
Yes, sorry.
That's right.
Oh, is it completely dark here?
Just stay still for a second there, Sigvard, and I'll drag you to the other map. Sorry. Let me just... let me just... Okay, you should see now, fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So this looks like it was some type of a laboratory type of area. Looks like there could have been an alchemist here. Maybe it's an alchemist tower. But you see that whatever alchemical supplies have been thoroughly smashed. Everything is just in complete disarray. There might have been some interesting reagents there, but they're not there anymore. So what do you do? Do you progress up the steps? Or...
Is there a bed yet?
There's no beds. Definitely no beds.
Oh no. Does it look safe yet, Cadus?
I'll sleep anywhere. So, safe enough for me anywhere, but I do feel like we should probably at least make sure there's no one else home before resting our eyes. We don't want to go to sleep and have someone come downstairs.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So you carry on up the stairs, and for a moment, everybody completely freezes. No one can move a muscle. Because we need to stop here, because I need to pick up my kids from school. So, very firm cut-off time. But thank you very much for playing. I hope you had a good time. And just let me know if you have any questions about anything that we've talked about, maybe the code of conduct or anything. But I do need to dash, get my kids.
Yeah.
But fun playing with you guys. It was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
It was great.
Okay, see you guys
Thank you
next
very
week.
much, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Just